All right, there's the recording. Hello and welcome to Coming Out with Cannabis with your hosts, Christina DiArcangelo Pooler and Wayne Kelly. Today we're talking to Dr. Kamala Maddali. She is the president of Health Collaborations LLC. And folks, this title just gives me the chills and makes me remember this one quote: if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And today I don't feel like I'm in the wrong room because Dr. Kamala Maddali is also a special advisory mentor to Harvard Innovation. So we're going to get talking to her, but first, CDP!
Thank you so much. I love the intro. It's getting better every time.
Hey, I'm getting used to it.
This is 13, I think, right? Isn't this 13?
I think so.
Yeah. Biz was 11, Ron's 12, and now Camilla is 13. So you're lucky 13, Camilla.
Well, I love numerology. Bring it on. The number 3 is a very powerful number.
So how awesome is that? Thank you so much for joining us. Camilla and I have been friends because we're both from the traditional biotech pharma CRO sector. That's how we originally met, and then started talking about the wonderful world of medical cannabis and CBD. And also, we're so lucky. Camilla has just joined our Affinity Patient Advocacy Board as a board member. We're so excited to have her on board, literally on board. And so we are going to just turn this over to you now, Camilla. I think Wayne's going to kick it off with a question.
I have a few questions. Yep.
I have my responses.
Yes. See, because we like to have fun here, but we are, we focus on education. It's truly our heart is about educating the patients about medical marijuana and those options to the general public that they may not know exist. So let's go. We're going to go with our sheet. We are very unorganized and not typically this focused, but again, let's use our time wisely.
I think let's discuss the endocannabinoid system maybe today, and then we can discuss, especially since we're oncology focused individuals. Camilla has done a ton of work in oncology throughout her career, and it still is. You guys know where I fall in with the oncology research as well for really the majority of my career. So let's talk about the endocannabinoid system. And Dr. Maddali, I think that who better than to kick it off for us?
Oh, absolutely. Please call me Kamala. Let's make it, very lively and informal. I just love the fact that it's not only a live interview, but a lively interview. So it's just amazing. So let's kickstart with the endocannabinoid system. By the way, it's a tongue twister for me.
It is for me too.
So since my childhood, just taking a little bit of a step back, my educational background, which kind of is aligned with the magical aspects that we are all learning about endocannabinoid system, CBD, and how it's going to be down the road one of their groundbreaking and breakthrough sort of solutions from a healthcare perspective that will really transform. The future is coming in the next 5 to 10 years. We're going to really provide a lot of scientific evidences with these historical centuries experiences from various centuries, right? So with that, let me take a step back and talk about how me as a veterinarian has actually taken the insights from animal biology into my PhD in understanding a cardiovascular disease, and then into the industrial roles at Merck, at Quest Diagnostics, at my recent sort of venture at CGI, which is still going on, Cancer Genetics, wherein it is all interconnected. Every system speaks to every other system, meaning it's exactly what happens in the blockage of the arteries in a cardiovascular disease is exactly the same that is happening in Alzheimer's disease from a mechanism perspective, and the same in cancer. So meaning the cells are multiplying from a layman terms, they multiply rapidly. There is no control. And then the death rate goes down, meaning the pathways that are linked with that goes down. What's happening? So basically these are very complex diseases. That's what I'm alluding to. And my journey as a patient, now personalizing it, I'm an MS patient. Today, MS-like since 2 years. So it's been 7 years journey. And I completely understand the good old saying, I feel your shoes. It's a shout out to every one of you. I feel what's going on with every one of you battling with neuropathy, battling with any sort of
pain.
Yes, absolutely. Pain, definitely. Migraines, fibromyalgia, and all of those. So really, I want to take us all through the discovery of the endocannabinoid system. So it's almost like a little fairy tale. For me, science is always a fairy tale. So in 1988, apparently in 1988, scientists made their first discovery of a cannabinoid receptor in the brain of a rat. Apparently. So, and this discovery was very significant in the research, especially from an Israeli scientist by name Dr. Raphael Makala. Yes, you're right. I have a cute accent. You said it right.
I knew you were going to bring
I'm not going to try.
He's the godfather. I hate to put titles because in our last thing we talked about this, about people making up these erroneous titles in our industry. Camilla, you're in Pennsylvania, so I'm sure you're reading some of the press that's coming out where people are calling themselves the legal drug dealers, the queens of cannabis, the kings of cannabis, which you guys is a pet peeve of mine, because in the biotech industry, as I lean in, because this is how serious I am about this, we don't do that, right? We don't call Camilla the queen of oncology, cell biology.
Like a warrior in oncology, right?
Yes, you're a warrior. Right. But we don't give titles in a professional environment, right? So we need to raise the bar here with that. And I don't mean to get on a tangent, but in my mind, because I just talked about this in our last show, Meshulam, Dr. Meshulam is the godfather. He's one of the founders of the cannabinoid system, and he's done amazing work. So accolades and hats off, and people that we know that have met him. I hope one day to be honored with his presence, because he is.
You guys met him? Really?
No, I haven't, but colleagues of ours have.
That's great. Oh, that's amazing.
He's amazing. So sorry to interject here with
no.
I just get excited when you mentioned Meshulam. I was like, oh my God, he's the main guy.
He is, and he's the one. He was the first person to isolate and identify both THC and CBD from cannabis.
Put. I apologize for interrupt. There you go.
Yes, okay. Yes, absolutely. I need to buy a phone holder, guys. I just realized before. I'm like, oh my God, there is no phone holder.
I know. I want one of those stick ones that I can hold out.
Oh no!
No, the desktop one. Just the desktop one. It's like a holder. It's like
that's what I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one for my car.
I'm so old school. I still use a desktop. So.
By the way, I tried, but Microsoft Windows said your password is invalid.
Oh. Denied.
I'm like, okay, no problem. So then getting back to the topic, and so these two discoveries have allowed the scientists worldwide to actually work towards a better understanding of the endocannabinoid system in humans, and the way that the phytocannabinoids, which is cannabinoids derived from the plants, THC and CBD, impact the receptors in our bodies and the brains. That's where all this sort of contradictory research is coming, because this particular receptor system, the system is everywhere. So meaning, once again, it's leading towards let's do better research, because every aspect and solution has its advantages and side effects. Okay, let's understand both, right? That's how the drug development world has shown us since the 16th century how to really come up with the right ways of understanding the mechanism.
Right.
So basically, the function, and moving on from the discovery, now we knew about the discovery of the endocannabinoid system. Let's spend a little bit of a time on the function. So there are two main types of cannabinoid receptors. It's CB1 and CB2 that are mostly found in the brain, while CB2 is the one which is widespread, primarily spread throughout the body.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in the brain, these CBD receptors exist with the highest concentration in the limbic system, technically. So limbic system is not separate. What does limbic system means? It is not separate part of the brain, but a collection of your hippocampus, hypothalamus, amygdala, and the cortex, especially the piriform cortex, it's called. I'm not going to go into all these sort of, how do I say, superhero terms. We will cover it some other time. But what
I got my thesaurus here.
I know. Me too. It was taking me back into my vet school days. I'm like, oh my God, what does each part of this brain function? But I summarized into very sort of, user-friendly terms that we all use every day is, what does this crucial brain region is majorly or mostly responsible for? It is responsible for emotion, mood, behavior, olfaction. It is called smell, and memory. Mm-hmm. So this may begin to explain why an underactive endocannabinoid system can increase anxiety, fear, depression, while reducing the joy one may derive from food and every other things that makes somebody happy. Absolutely. Right? Yes, absolutely. And when these systems are really not functioning optimally, it can cause extreme stress in the body and a potential overproduction of cortisol. Once again, that's the stress aggravator hormone, and a host of complications, which is insomnia, lack of sleep, brain fogginess. The brain is not active. Even if it is 10 a.m. in the morning, you're not active.
Right.
Right. Gastrointestinal problems. Yeah. It's a huge problem, especially in the Western side of the world. Right. So, pain and underactive thyroid, cold hands and feet, no matter what. It drives me crazy when people still drink Coke and Pepsi.
Yeah.
So, there's a good time for that. You can enjoy it in summer, right? Everything has a good time. So weak appetite, low BP. So it really raises a whole lot of extreme stress-related syndrome with a combination of these factors. So that's the function of the endocannabinoid system. So one thing that I recently learned, hey, we are in the field wherein we are learning and excelling. I don't hesitate to say that I am learning so much about the endocannabinoid system, because it is the times wherein, coming from the east side of the world, East always have very good experiences based on food is medicine, nature is medicine approach, right? Like turmeric, ginger, exactly.
Yes.
So and even the medical cannabis, it definitely has a lot of roots in China, in India, in Middle Eastern countries, where people have used it for centuries and had very good benefits. But then at the same time, there's a lot of controversial information which is sidetracking or kind of stuff. So that's where I think
stigma, right?
Absolutely. That's where now the west side of the world, thanks to United States and Europe, which has really set up really wonderful standards and guidelines. If you're trying to take an experience-based medicine into really, a medical condition, like we are talking about, like MS or pain or for oncology side effects, all of it, cancer side effects, we really need to show more and more evidences. And I think that's where the evidence-based approach will really wise up for the experience-based approaches that east side of the world and many parts of the world have shown. And right now in the United States, there's tons of surveys, including Affinity Patient Advocacy is trying to really bring that real world evidences.
Yes, exactly. I mean, we're blessed in the sense that we have APA that interacts with the patients directly. So we're hearing directly from these patients. So we're advocating for what's going on. They feel safe talking to us, which is so fantastic, because we're learning, besides the fact that some of us on the board are patients as well within the MMJ program in Pennsylvania. And then we have BioPartners that actually does the research. That's the research.
That's great.
We're designing the protocols, we're implementing them and finding the patients and, closing the study, getting the white paper out. And then, we have our Cannabis, which, that little guy he's such a helpful little buddy, to these patients. And, we talk about, as you know, Camilla, we talk about the bot all the time and how it's free to the patients. That's
Which
our
is great.
platform.
Yes.
We're not charging the patients, and we're very firm about that. I had a press article interview yesterday, actually, for a Pittsburgh article that's coming out with Ryan Deno. And that was one of the things that I made sure I talked about several times, was that patients are our primary focus here.
Yeah.
Cannabis is free to patients. We do not want patients paying for that. They don't pay for APA services. It kind of all goes in hand, because we want to help the patients with their unmet medical needs.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I would say one sort of a condition that I came across more, it falls in the deficiency, which was quite learning. And I would love to share more about that. And in this interview is clinical endocannabinoid deficiency.
Yes.
I was like, what? Okay. I'm like, oh, this is great information. And never, when I sat down with many neurologists in my own personal scenario, I'm like, never I even was asked, or even I'm like, did you knew this? Or I don't know if they're looking at this.
Right? They're not. I would bet they're not.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is a shout out to the pharmaceutical community, which is phenomenal in investing into research and innovation and the resources.
Agreed.
Right? For them to really understand. Might be there's already data there. I will be doing some mini research and understand better. So, it's definitely more of a collaboration shout out for the pharmaceutical community. Can we really understand better what does this clinical endocannabinoid deficiency means? And are there any good drug targets that are being tied in with the whole medical cannabis therapeutic aspects that we're trying to look into and foster more research, right?
Agreed.
So basically, what is it from a layman term? It's a condition where an individual has lower amount of endogenous cannabinoids than experts consider necessary to promote good health and well-being. So they have the low levels. So how much low? We still don't know. I don't want to comment now. We'll do some more research, and then, this can be a very good topic.
Yes.
And I would love to get any of the neurology-focused chiropractors, which I think I'm going to recommend. There are wonderful chiropractors who are exclusively focused on neuromuscular disorders.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Dr. Donner, who is on our board as well as our research partner, he works very closely with a chiropractor, Camilla, who has done a ton of endocannabinoid research. He even came up with a laser.
We should get him on one of the interviews.
Absolutely. We have to get him on because he's fantastic. He actually closed the last conference, the World Cannabis Conference, down with me and Dr. Donner.
Oh, that was
yeah, it was fantastic. So we should reach out to him. Thank you for bringing that up.
Absolutely, it's all about awareness and education, right?
Collaboration.
Yes, absolutely. It's a powerful combination of the drug-related benefits and also any of the palliative care, right? And any of the
exactly.
Yep. So scientists now believe that apparently the CECD, which is the abbreviated form for clinical endocannabinoid deficiency, may play a role in the following conditions. It's fibromyalgia and irritable bowel syndrome, migraines, multiple sclerosis, post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, which is widely spread nowadays. Neuropathy, Huntington's, which I was surprised. Parkinson's.
PD, I was going to say PD.
Absolutely. And even motion sickness. Motion sickness, a side effect, a common side effect.
I didn't even think about that one.
Right. So,
I learned something new.
Absolutely.
Here. I suffer from motion sickness.
For the next one, autism. They're telling even in autism. Oh my God. See, it's a wide variety. Who knows? More and more research. It might go across many other, in my conversation with the neurologist, there are so many other undiagnosed neuromusculoskeletal disorders, which they don't even have terminologies lately.
Right.
So definitely a good shout out overall for the basic research, academic research, pharmaceutical research, everywhere that we really need to understand and expand our deeper insights into the clinical endocannabinoid deficiency.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Agreed.
Guys, I hate to do this. I absolutely do, because I'm taking notes. Again, this is so educational. And Dr. Kamala, I mean, Kamala, you asked us to call you by your first name. Okay. It was such a joy having you. Alexa did tell us to wrap it up, a couple minutes ago, and I know we have a hard stop. All of us do. It's a very busy day. So, Christina, take us out of here. But Kamala, until next time, I look forward to our next conversation.
Absolutely. I'm very lively shows. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Oh, great.
Thank you so much, Camilla. It's been wonderful having you. We'll have another session with you. Maybe we'll turn it into having tea with Kamala and Christina and Wayne.
Segment.
Where we do
absolutely
segment once a month to help the patients.
Yes, and also the chiropractor. Let's not forget that chiropractor.
Oh,
definitely.
My goodness, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Take care, guys. Yeah.
Be well.
Have a great day.
Yep. Bye, everyone. Bye.